Okay, so you finally decided that this is the year you're going to jump into the real estate market. You're finally going to buy that home, but you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes along the way. Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss the 7-step buying process. Yes, there are only 7 steps to buying a home, and by the end of this video, you're going to be able to go through that process and make sure that you don't fall into any of the traps that so many buyers have in the past. But before I do, my name is Glen Hopkins, and if you want to buy a home here in Canada, this is the place for you. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and that way more people just like you can find this video. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Let's discuss the 7-step home buying process. And it really is that simple. And I'm going to go through each step. I'm going to explain them all to you. And I'm also going to give you a heads up for any of the landmines or any of the traps that all too often come up and surprise most home buyers. Now, I'm confident that if you follow the advice in this video, you will definitely be able to buy a home without any major headaches. So let's go ahead, get into this. Let's start off with number 1, which is getting a mortgage pre-approval. Now, many people think that this is something you should do 60 to 90 days before you purchase a home. But I disagree, and the reason why is because I feel that the sooner you get pre-approved, the sooner you will have the necessary and accurate information to make educated and informed buying decisions throughout the entire process. So if you think that you might be purchasing a home in the next 2 or even 3 years down the road, it makes sense to get a pre-approval right now, because when you have that information, you will have a complete picture of how much you qualify for, and if there's anything on your credit or anything with your income or work that needs to be sorted out. And a good mortgage broker will be able to help you determine what those things are well before you're in the process of buying a home. And yes, I do definitely recommend that you use a mortgage broker. I mean, let's be honest, the banks, well, they're there to help make money for their shareholders, and they don't necessarily always have your best interests at heart. But a really good mortgage broker will be able to make sure that you not only get the right mortgage, but that you get the right lender. And I cannot emphasize enough how important this is, because things that may come up that you're not aware of, such as high payout penalties with the big banks, could come back to haunt you if there's an opportunity for you down the road to possibly move to another lender with lower interest rates. Also, make sure that when you get that pre-approval, that they're actually asking for things like your down payment verification, your income documents, and they're actually fully underwriting the pre-approval and verifying the documents that you provide, so that, you know, when it comes time to buy the home, you are actually getting approved for that mortgage. Now, there are lots of people out there, lots of bankers, lots of brokers out there that will do a pre-approval based on the information that you give them. And a lot of people will find out way too late that the information provided wasn't the information that was needed to get an actual pre-approval. And it ends up blowing up the entire deal. So make sure that you're getting what's called a fully underwritten pre-approval or pre-qualification. Now, these words, they're used interchangeably, so don't worry about that. Just make sure that they're reviewing your documents and that your documents support your pre-approval. Now that you've got your pre-approval, step number 2 is to hire a real estate agent. And I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. You need to make sure that you have somebody who represents you and is looking out for your best interest during the home buying process. And by the way, there is a link in the description below if you need help finding a real estate agent anywhere in Canada. I have people pretty much everywhere in every part of the country that I can refer to you who will look out for your best interest and not for their own best interest or the interest of just the sellers. These are people looking out for your best interest. And, you know, I do get it. I understand that there is that temptation to go online and search for homes and find somebody on the internet to show you those houses, or to drive by a house and say, hey, you know, I like the way that looks. And you see that there's a for sale sign. You call the number on the sign and so on and so forth. But you really shouldn't be doing that. You need to interview agents. Find one that you believe is going to look out for your best interests and have them do the work for you. A great agent who is there to look out for your interest will not only save you a whole bunch of money, they will also make sure you don't make silly mistakes along the way. Things like buying a property next to a future highway development or a high-rise development, that could make it next to impossible for you to sell your house once that highway is built. So you need to be aware of that. They can help you through those pitfalls. Now, the third step is to begin your home search. You've got your real estate agent, you've told them what you want, you've set up a custom search on MLS, and they're sending you listings that meet your criteria. Now what you want to do is you want to have a really great filtering process. The trick here is to only view homes that closely meet your criteria. The last thing you want to do is see 30, 40, or 50 homes because, well, one, it takes a lot of time and effort, and two, when buyers view too many homes, they inevitably get confused. They forget which home had the kitchen they liked and which home had that additional living space they liked. They tend to blend them all together and get them mixed up. So you want to minimize the number of homes that you see. Now, the best advice that I can give you is to work through the power of elimination. You want to narrow down and eliminate the things that you don't want in a home, and that way by default, homes that you do want, they're going to rise to the surface. Now, generally speaking, the first time that you're out looking at homes, it's going to be more of a scouting tour, helping you determine exactly the things that you do want and the things that you don't want. And it's going to continue to be a process of elimination and narrowing down your search criteria. This way, when you go out on your second tour of homes, your criteria will be much more honed in, and there will be a much higher likelihood of you finding a great home, one that you're going to love and you're going to decide you want to write an offer on, which is the fourth step in the home buying process, writing an offer. And this again is where a great real estate agent is worth their weight in gold because they will not only be able to draft a strong offer for you with all of the appropriate subjects, but they also are going to be a strong negotiator with the ability to get you the best possible deal. Just know the difference between a good realtor and a great realtor is their negotiation skills. And so there's a question that I like to encourage people to ask their realtor when they're interviewing them. And that is, can I get a kickback on your commissions earned? And then really push them to give you a part of their commissions. Now, the realtors who are willing to do the job for less, well, those are the realtors who can't even advocate on their own behalf. And if they can't advocate on their own behalf, how do you expect them to act when it comes time for them to advocate on your behalf? So you're going to want to find a realtor who, no matter how hard you push them, will easily be able to explain why you should not ask them for a discount or cash back on their commissions. After all, if your agent is unable to defend their own commissions, how can you expect them to be able to negotiate a great deal and effective terms on your behalf when dealing with the seller's agent? Now, when you write the offer, there's going to be a whole bunch of subjects and conditions that your realtor will write into the offer, designed to not only get you the best possible price, but the best possible terms. Now, if you're looking to purchase in an overheated market where sellers are receiving multiple offers on their home, this is probably not the type of market that you want to be buying a home in. Now, of course, I understand that there's always exceptions, such as people who are going through a divorce maybe, or they're moving to a new city due to a job change, etc. But for the most part, if possible, we want to do what is possible to keep out of multiple offer situations. And God forbid, writing offers without the necessary subjects and conditions. I always highly recommend at bare minimum that you include a subject to financing and a subject to inspection. Speaking of the home inspection, when it comes time to do a home inspection, you want to make sure that you hire a great inspector. Somebody that is typically going to be trusted by your realtor because let's face it, consumers, they don't usually have a home inspector in their back pocket. So you want to go with the recommendation of your realtor. And a good home inspector will potentially save you from making a bad mistake on a bad property. Do not skip this step. You want to make sure that you get a home inspection with your purchase, whether it's a brand new home or whether it's something on the resale market. Make sure you get that home inspection done. And by the way, as far as appraisals go, make sure that your realtor in the offer puts a clause in there stating that an appraiser from the lender, from the bank, can come in and appraise the property. That's really important. Now, the sixth step in the process is securing your mortgage. Once you have an accepted offer, your realtor, they're going to send that into your mortgage broker. And at that point, their job will be to help you through the process of finding a mortgage that is best suited to your needs. Now, keep in mind that they're there to guide you through the process. However, it's your job to make the final decisions on which lender you want to choose to use. Once they send the mortgage back to the lender for approval, the lender should come back having a fully approved mortgage because, well, we already took the time to take care of step number one in the process, which was getting the pre-approval. Am I right? Okay, good stuff. Now be aware that at this point, chances are the lender is going to come back and ask you for a few additional documents that they still need. And this is totally normal, and it's just simply part of the process. Now bear in mind though that most offers, you're going to have approximately 7 days to remove your subject. So the quicker you can get those documents back to the lender, the quicker you can get a full approval and remove those subjects. Now, the last and final step, step number 7, is to meet with your lawyer and close the deal. After the mortgage is finalized, you've removed the subjects on your offered purchase, everything will be sent to your lawyers. And this happens about 7 to 10 days prior to closing. And at this point, the lawyers will draft up all of the documents, transfer the property from the previous owners to you, as well as any of the mortgage documents. So be prepared to have them call you into their office to sit down, go through all the paperwork, sign everything, and make the purchase official. As soon as this is done, your realtor will be notified. They will then arrange to collect the keys from the previous owner and deliver them to you for your new home. Now, really quick, circling back to step number 1 and 2, if you don't already have a mortgage broker or a realtor and you need some help with that, take a moment right now to go ahead and click on the link in the description box below. Schedule a quick call with me and I can help point you in the right direction.